Well, hello, boys and girls. It is your favourite grumpy granny from Granny's Patch, and I'm back once again to tell you something about selling on eBay. Well, you've missed me, have you? Didn't have any nuggets last week. And two reasons for that. Sorry, I am struggling a little bit, having a little bit of an asthma issue at the moment, but it'll be fixed soon, I hope. Let's fingers crossed. But, so, this last week, I embarked on a big challenge to myself. So what I had to do was I needed to make more room in my bookshelves for more books. Now, the thing is, you may have noticed in recent videos, I started doing some variation listings. I've now done a lot more variation listings. The thing is, when I wanted to put those books on the shelf, and some of those, so one of the Enid Blyton ones I've done has got like 47 books in the one listing. So I want to be able to put those 47 books in the same spot so that I'm not searching. So if someone comes in, say, and buys 3 of my Enid Blyton books, I'm not having to go all over different shelves to find them. They'll all be there together. But I didn't have any big gaps. I only had small gaps. So what I needed to do was to consolidate all my books, as in, instead of putting a book here and a book there out of my new listings, I needed to, fill the gaps up, push everything up, and end up with a bigger gap at the end. So it took me like 4 days of solid doing that, and which is why I haven't done any nuggets, because I've been concentrating very hard on doing that and working my little butt off. But what happened? So I did manage to make the room on the shelves for a lot of my variation listings, which you'll see some of them are up there behind me up there. And that was great. But I also found something else, which is what I'm going to tell you about today. And what I actually discovered was I had a lot, and I'm talking a lot, of books that actually weren't listed on eBay that I thought were. So there's a couple of reasons for that. So I'm just going to share the screen to show you some of my books that I thought were listed that aren't. So look, there's a few piles. So here is one little pile. Most of these books that I've got sitting on top of a cupboard right near me are books that I'm going to say will comp from memory. They will comp around $40, $30, $40, $50 more. Some of them, I think there's even a couple of close to $100 books in there. And, that's a lot of money that I thought was going to, wondering why those things didn't sell on eBay. And there was a reason for that. And I'll just show you some of the other piles while I'm going. So here's a pile, a double tower of, paperback books. And then my hallway, and the reason for the thumbnail, because my hallway looks a bit like the Ghostbusters room at the moment. So here's some more piles of paperbacks and hardcovers in there. And then we have, oh, look, there's another pile. So there actually finished up being quite a few piles of books that I thought that, were listed, and a lot. There are a lot, let me tell you. So how did this happen? Well, there's a couple of ways that this happened. One is when I was doing the nuclear store resets, I know that I accidentally deleted, I thought it was about 70 books, maybe listings disappeared, but maybe it was a bit more, and I didn't realise. I also think I had some that I had listed in the antiquarian and collectible category, and I decided I was going to shift those over to the regular book category because they weren't selling in the antiquarian section, and I put them in the draft bank. And I think I haven't kept up with the date thing, and they have dropped off, so that might have accounted for a few more. But what happened to the rest of them? I've heard people talk before about your eBay listings disappearing, and I was probably a little bit skeptical about how many that is possible that could happen. And I think that's what's happened here, because I'm entering into my 3rd year on eBay. Now I've done 2 complete years. And I think what's actually happened is that there have been times when there's been particular listings that have been up for, and eBay themselves say that 9 months is when a item becomes stale. And they say that if they like that, they can remove them. And I think that's actually what's happened. I've had books that have been up for, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months. And I think they've just been knocked off the eBay perch. And that's why I've now got all these books. So that period of time that I spent doing that was well worth it, because it's been great. I've done it. So I've done a complete stock take basically of all my books. What that means for me going forward is, I know exactly that the books on the shelves behind me and the ones over here are all listed. And I know that the ones up the passage in the piles aren't listed. So it's allowed me to get those books off the shelves and make room for books that are listed on the shelves. It also means going forward, I don't need to go and source any more books because I have plenty to go forward with. And already one of the books I listed yesterday, so I listed about 9, I think, out of those books. I think it comped about $60 or $70, I think, from memory. So, yeah, it's a bit scary to think all those listings just disappeared. Books are one of those things, especially the ones I sell, which I'm going to say 90% of my books do not have a barcode. So they're older books, they're vintage books, and you've got to find that right buyer for that right book. Going forward, what I'm going to be doing, and I have been doing, is more regular end and sell similar. But instead of doing them as a whole store reset, which I stopped doing a while ago, I'm now doing regular daily ones of, look, maybe some days I only do 20, another day I might do 100. Just depends what's going on and, that sort of thing. When I do those end and sell similars, I actually take the oldest ones, and I have made a video about this, making a scheduled draft bank. So you've got listings to go up every day automatically. I take the oldest ones and I put some of the oldest ones into that draft bank. So automatically every day I'm going to have listings going up on eBay. So that's one good thing about doing it. And so going forward, I don't need to buy any new books for a while because I've got plenty to list. And yeah, I've it's kind of fixed things a little bit. But yeah, interesting. Look, I have to say I was a bit shocked. There was a lot more that weren't listed that I thought there would be. And a lot of them are really good books. A lot of first editions. I've got some signed first editions in amongst the ones in that first lot, which I'll show you. This particular pile here. So this particular pile here, there are some actual first edition signed ones in there. So they, and they have good value. There are some other books in there that I know when I was a bit surprised when I was pulling them off the shelf and I'm going, I don't know why this book hasn't sold. Well, now I do know why it hasn't sold, because it wasn't listed. So when I also, a while ago, did my jeans, I actually did a full stock take of all my jeans. And at the time, I think I had between 300 and 400 pairs of jeans listed. I found 26 pairs of jeans that weren't listed. So, it is important to do regular stock takes. And that is my big key takeaway for you, is to make sure you do. And also, I think the other key takeaway is to perhaps do regular end and sell similar on stuff that is coming up that hasn't sold, your older stock. Refresh it by ending it and sell similar and giving it another lease of life, and hopefully it might sell. Because I'm finding at the moment that a lot of things that I do end and sell similar on are selling within, I'm going to say, I wouldn't do it every day, the same item every day over and over again, because I'm actually finding it's about that 5-day to 12-day mark that I'm actually getting the good traction on stuff that I've done end and sell similar on. And so, yeah, great. And I'm just going to show you a couple of those sales before I sign off for the day. Hang on. So all of these that I'm going to show you are plus post, right? So the sold price plus post. So all of these, and you'll see this particular one, I did an end and sell similar on February the 23rd, and it sold just over a week later. And this is Fospit Files Prologue. So anyone, if you come across these books, they sell for a great price. Again, I mean, they might sit there for a while because you've got to find that right buyer, but they do sell for a really good price. So that is one. So the next one I'm going to show you is this New York City navy embroidered souvenir wool blend. It's a wool blend strap back cap. Now, this one, I actually got this one for free because a daughter-in-law gave it to me when she cleared out her hat collection and didn't want it. Thank you, Emma. And I did an end and sell similar on it on March the 1st, and it sold on the 4th. And I had it listed originally for $39 plus post, and I took an offer of $30 plus post. So, yeah, $39.99 all up. So that is pretty cool. The next one I'll show you is this Womble's book, which, yeah, great little Womble's book. Did end and sell similar on February 27th. Sold it on I think on the 4th or 3rd or the 4th. So, it took about 6 days, which was good. This one actually sold not plus $9.99 post. It was about $30 something or other post because it went off to the UK, which is fantastic. And then last one I'm going to show you today is this RSVP Perry Cutton vintage silk women's size 14 top. It's a beautiful little silk top, sleeveless, beaded, beautiful beading around the top here. And, yeah, lovely little top. Hadn't sold. And I thought, I don't know why nobody's buying this. And I had been reducing the price. I think I'd originally had it listed for around the $29 mark, kept reducing the price down, finally had it down to this $20.44, and did an end and sell similar on February the 21st. And that then sold on the 3rd of March. So, yeah, it took that little bit of time. But, yeah, the end and sell similar, it does refresh them, gives them a new lease of life. I guess if you do the end and sell similar and then they're still not selling, then maybe it's time to redonate them back to the op shop, I'm going to say, or put them in a bulk listing, something like that. All right, that is it. Nugget for today, because I haven't done one for a while, so I thought I'd better get my ass into gear and do one. So there you have it, and I will see you next time, boys and girls, where I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about, but it will be something interesting, I'm sure. Bye now.